All right, I'm going to show you how to quickly edit in iMovie. So here I'm going to launch iMovie. I'm using iMovie 6 here. The newest version, iMovie 11, has changed its interface a bit, and so that's going to be different. But most of the iMovies look like this. So we're going to go create new project. The video I'm working with today was shot with a Kodak ZI-8, which is a little handy cam, kind of like a flip. And I'm shooting in 720p, so I'm going to edit in 720p. You can edit in DV widescreen, or DV if you want, and it'll be standard definition. If you want to, if your computer's a little slower or whatever, but if you have any kind of new computer, you can edit in 720p. So I'll call this My Great Movie, sure, save it on my desktop, create. Now, this pops up. First thing, we're going to go to Preferences, so iMovie, Preferences. Under General, we want Extract Audio when using Paste over a playhead, checked. We want under Import, and we want all these settings to be the same. Under Import, I want Automatic DV Pillar Boxing and Letterboxing. You want to have this either checked or unchecked depending on what you're dragging in. If you drag in 16:9 video and it seems to add like black bars to the left and right, it's probably because this is checked and you don't want it checked, or it depends. Just beware of that feature and have these settings. So to import my video to start editing, I can go File, Import, or if I want, I can go into my Finder, go right onto my ZI-8 here. I'm going to take these two video clips here, and I'm just going to drag them in like that. Now, right now, it takes a little while to import. Why? Because my ZI-8 and almost all cameras that shoot to a memory card, they're shooting an H.264 video, and we told iMovie to edit in HDV video. So when we import, right now it's converting that H.264 into HDV so that we can edit it. So this will just take a second. Okay, so now I've actually imported 3 video files. On my right side here, this is my clips pane. So this pane. So this is where I've entered all of my, imported all of my video files. Whenever I click on something and it turns blue, that's what's being displayed on the left here. This is called the monitor. If I drag a file down here, this is now blue. I'm now looking at this file. If I click here, I'm now looking at that file. Okay, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to get that out. Okay, so down here, as I've already shown you, I guess, is our timeline. There's 2 ways to edit: storyboard view or timeline view. Edit in timeline view. It's better. So we can move our clips around and rename them. So I know that this one here is my interview. So I'm going to rename this one to interview. And these are my B-roll. So I call this one B-roll 1 and B-roll 2. B-roll 2. The reason I want to rename is just because it's better than having just a file name. It also helps you visualize as if you had a storyboard. It's a storyboard in front of you. It's how you can visualize how you want it to go. Now, here's my interview. There's different ways to edit in iMovie. One way is just, here's my clip. It's 38 seconds long. She says, "Hi, my name is," and we're doing this baby dancing yoga thing. I can take this video file and I can just drag it down into the timeline. There we go. Now, I can then shorten it. We can pretend as if this is literally a piece of film just laid down on the table, and I just want to take scissors and I just want to snip it. Because you see, she doesn't start talking until about here, and at the end she stops talking, and then I want to clip that off. So I can click and I can drag to make my clip shorter. Now right now I actually can't, because see this purple line? I have volume levels, show clip volume levels turned on. At the end I'll show you how to use these, but this is kind of a little annoying thing. If you leave these on by accident and forget to turn them off, it can cause you headaches because you can't edit until they're turned off. So now that they're off, I say I want my video to start about here, where she says hi. If I move my mouse to the beginning, see this little arrow that pops up? I can click, can drag over, and now my video starts right where she says, "Hi, my name is." Again, I come here to the end, She stops talking about there. I can click here, a little arrow pops up when I mouse over, drag to the end, and bam, there. Now I have 30 seconds. I've taken that 38 seconds and I've cropped it down to 30 seconds. All right, so this is just her talking, just a talking head. It's not too exciting. You, of course, want to add some visuals. To do that, we're going to come here to our B-roll, okay? Now, there's two other ways that I can edit. This clip here is about 1 minute long. And from this, I see, I could probably use about 5 seconds there, and I could use maybe about 5 seconds there. This whole clip's about a minute. So what I'm going to do is, say I want to split the clip about, split it about here. Right now, notice there's one clip. I move my playhead to where I want it split. I go to Edit, Split Video Clip. Bam! Now there's 2 clips. I've taken that 1 minute and I've split it into 2, one's 20 seconds and one's 40 seconds. I can now click on my shorter one here, and notice these little arrows? These are my in and my out point. I want my video to start here, and I want it to end right about here. What's yellow is what I've selected. I go up to Edit, Crop, and now I've taken that 23 seconds and I've cropped it down to 9 seconds. I can now take this video and I can plunk it down. But look, I can't, I can either move it before or after, pardon me, but I want it to be on top of. The way I do that is I move my playhead down here to where I want my B-roll to go, say about 4 seconds. Okay? I take my B-roll clip that I want, click on it so it's blue, right click, copy, move my playhead here to where I want it to go. I go Advanced, Paste over at Playhead. Now I wish that this was over here in Edit where the other paste is, but for some reason they put it over here. You go Paste over at Playhead, and bam, it's taken this clip and it's copied it over top of your A-roll, your interview. So now we have her talking, we show the B-roll, and we come back to her talking. But the audio of her talking is still there underneath. So this way, she can be talking about it, and while she's talking about it, we're showing another visual. And then we come back to her. And let's say I want to do that again. Say for this clip, I want it to show, I want it about here, say. I would go Crop, Copy, say I want it to go here, Advanced, Paste, and bam, there we go. So, I'm being very general here, obviously. I'm not even listening to what she's saying. So, let's say is our video, we got our A-roll and our B-roll, it's okay. I want to add some credits to the end. So, I have, you can do credits when you go here to editing. There's 5 tabs here. All you need to worry about is clips and editing. Editing, I have titles, I have text. I've already made myself a Gav nameplate. Here, I've already made a nameplate in Photoshop for this file, for this movie. You can do titles and stuff yourself, but if you want to have better fonts or more control, iMovie kind of lacks that. So it's faster just to make up a nameplate and drag it in like that. There. Edmonton Journal logo. Video by Brian Galvaroff. He shot this on his iPhone. So we go there, and let's say at the beginning of the video she says, "Hi, my name is." There's no real need to add text, but let's say she didn't say, "Hi, my name is." I can come down here to Stripe Subtitle, and I can change the color and whatnot. I take it, I move my playhead to where I want it to go. I click on it. First I add in the text and everything. And I drag it down to where I want it to go. You drag it not on top of the clip, but just you drag it before the clip, or before where your playhead is, and it renders, and bam, there you go. First and last name with a stripe. Let's say you don't want the stripe. You can go music video, and name, title, and you can take that and say drag it in, and that kind of looks a little. I like that. It depends. You might want the stripe, or you might want to have this kind of look. It all depends on what you're going for. These are the only two that I recommend using. Everything else is kind of cheesy. If you want to have, you know, drifting credits or spinning credits or starburst or all that kind of stuff, it can look cheesy. If you're kind of wanting to look like a news video, just use stripe subtitle or use music video. There, that looks nice. So one last thing, transitions. Same thing. You have a bunch of spinning and washout and scale down, all this stuff. Those are great for home movies, but if you're doing a news video, only use cross dissolve or fade in, fade out. There's only 3 cuts you ever need. A hard cut is just when there's no transition at all, and a hard cut shows you, hard cuts mean that time hasn't changed. This is just a different angle, a different viewing angle of the subject. A cross dissolve means that time has progressed. So if you're interviewing someone and you need to snip that interview down, if all of a sudden they're talking and all of a sudden, you know, there's a cut, it's very noticeable. If you have a smooth transition, it makes the viewer think, okay, time has progressed. Fade in, fade out means a new idea. So you're talking to one person, you fade to black, fade back up, a new person. That means a new place, a new idea. You don't fade in, fade out. You don't fade out of one scene and fade back into the exact same scene because there's no point in that. It's not a new idea. All right, cross dissolve. Here we set our speed for how long the dissolve will take, say about 3 seconds. I drag it down to here, and now she'll be talking, and then it will fade into black. Now, why didn't I fade out and fade in here? Well, because I'm going from her to a black frame, I don't need to fade out. As you see here, it just fades nicely like that. Kind of fades to black because the frame is black. So final thing, you go, at the last step, you go volume levels. These pink lines, I can drag them up or down. That's the audio level, the volume level of that clip. So I can turn that clip up or I can turn that clip down. One thing to note, here's zoom. Pardon me. When you're extracting audio and playing with audio, when you start adding transitions, they might screw up your audio. Because when you extract the audio, see I hit right click on this clip here, I can extract audio, and that puts an audio track down here. When I extract audio, I'm actually copying that audio clip. So the original video still has the audio. See here, it just turned it down. So point is, if your audio sounds weird, it's probably because your audio levels are screwed up. So you can just go in here and you can manually turn your audio up and down. So there is our video, general idea, A-roll, show some B-roll, fade, crossfade to a JPEG image with our nameplate at the end. Video's all done, we've watched it, we like it. We now go to export. File, export, QuickTime, expert settings, share. This is going to be a QuickTime file. Migrate movie. I always like to add information like it's a 720p movie and it's the H.264 codec. I always add that info to my file names just so that I know, here baby dancing. I add that info just so that when I see the file, I automatically know what it is. We're going to go to options. And these are the settings I always use. These are kind of the settings that if you use these are kind of the settings that YouTube HD and Vimeo HD recommend. And I've been using these for years and I love them. H.264 codec, restrict to 5,000 kilobit, single pass. You can do multipass if you have the time. There's not that much of a difference. Multipass looks a little nicer. Size, 720p. And sound, AAC. And mono, if you shot it in stereo and you actually notice it's stereo, use stereo. If you only used one microphone and it's a mono microphone and a human voice is talking, human people are mono, so you don't need stereo. 64-bit, hit OK. Fast streaming, hit OK and hit save. And this video will be ready to be uploaded to YouTube or other players. This is very compatible, and those settings are HD, and they're a very good trade-off between quality and file size. So that's just super duper quick editing in iMovie HD.